All right, animation gang, going into another animation here, frame by frame, in Wick Editor. And we are animating an onomatopoeia. So the word I've chosen is zap. So we've got kind of like the word zap with some little flaring action going on, some sparks. And so we are trying to add that animated imagery that might go with a word that has a sound associated with it, right? So what I'm going to do here is start a new tab, get a new assignment going, new project. So as you can see, I started this one on a square size again, if you notice that. So I'm going to go square size for this one, 720, 720, hit apply. And then I have a square workspace. I'm going to start with my word. So you don't have to do zap. You could do any word. Start with that, click it, maybe stretch it to make it a little bigger here. Now I want to get into my fonts, my font families over on the side. Let's see, what do I got? That works pretty good for a first choice. All right, I'll take it. Seems like it adds to the feel, and it feels like that fits well with the word that I've chosen. So I'm going to change my fill color. Let's see, yellow might be too light. Maybe I want more like an orange. Yeah, let's go with that. So zap, I am going to add kind of like these accent lines that come out around it. What I'm going to need to do is copy and then paste my word onto my second frame. Now my second frame, I'm going to take my pencil and draw a line. Let's see. I always like my line weight to be like at least 3. 1, 2 is always a little bit thin. Let's see. And now I can go with pretty much any color here, right? I'm going to start with red. And you can choose colors out of the middle here. You don't need to go with just the quick colors that are already there. I am going to draw a line that kind of traces and accents my word here. And then I'm going to fill it in right around the word. So I'll take my bucket, fill right around there. Oh, my shape has a gap, and I can see it. I can see that tiny little gap, that little pesky little gap there. So I'm going to pull that point with my path cursor tool to try and close that. The other thing we can do, and that I may haven't done yet with you guys, is you could change this. So this is the gap fill. Will it show when I put my mouse over it? This is like, okay, so this is a way, it should show when I put my mouse over it, but this is the way it fills a gap. Ugh, not what I wanted to have happen. I want the same red color. Let's see. So I'm going to take my eyedropper tool, match it to that red, and then fill that. Should fill right around the word if you click on the edge of it. Yep. And so this, what this does is if you have this number go up all the way to 5, that means if there's a tiny little gap, it'll just fill over that gap. So usually it's probably best to just have that when you have your fill bucket tool, just have that on 5, just in case you have a little hole or something. Then you can just add to it. I'm going to copy and paste this onto another frame here. Take a new fill color or a new color to go with. Let's see, maybe I'll go with yellow now. And again, I am just kind of adding to this kind of outline and echoing it around the whole edge of my word. And then I'll come in with my fill bucket. Got to change my fill color. I can match it to the same yellow using the eyedropper, although that was just a quick color from our color menu there, so I didn't have to do that. But now I'll take my pencil tool again, do another switch. Maybe I'll go with like some kind of electric green looking color, maybe like a Mountain Dewy kind of green in here. There we go. Gonna go around and maybe make these shapes start to get a little more pointed, because when we're thinking zap, we're probably thinking like pointy, right? We're thinking like sharp sparks flying, right? So that might work a little bit more better to reflect. Whoops, I didn't change my green color. I can use this dropper and try and select that same green off that line and then fill in again. Cool. All right, so I might do a little bit more, but that seems pretty good. It gives you the effect of the word zap, right? Zap, zap, zap. And it happens really quick too, which helps. So I'm going to take this again, copy and paste onto this frame one more time. I'm really just going to add kind of like little sparks or maybe like lightning type shapes around the edges. And then I'm pretty much going to call it a day after that. So let's go ahead and take my stroke color. I'm going to go with like an orange, maybe like more of a yellowy orange to do my like kind of spark shapes around the outside. I'll do kind of like these little, like doing these like 4-point stars for my spark type shapes. I'll fill one in here. Oh, fill color still green. I guess that could work too. More Mountain Dewy green. Oh, I want to get that same color. So I might have to pan here. Let's pan so that I get it out of the way, my color menu. If I want that same yellow for my fill. There we go. All right, so now I have little sparks starting to fly around the edges of my word zap here. I could add little bolts or something like that too, like lightning shapes, right? Zap. All right, maybe I'll change my background color just to give it a little more emphasis. I'm feeling like something maybe like a dark purple here might be good. Let's apply that. All right, there we go. Zapping, right? So, quick, simple tutorial for this frame-by-frame animation on how to animate an onomatopoeia. Hope you guys have fun and get creative with your own.